and welcome to the Highline with Liam Anderson Motorsports. I'm Jenny Funk. I'm the Communications and Marketing Manager for the LLC.
Hi, I'm Liam Anderson, driver of the number 18 Coyote chassis.
Hi, I'm Charles Kirby. I'm the owner of Kirby's Relic Recovery. I am the sponsor of Liam Anderson Motorsports for fuel and oil.
Hi, I'm Liam Anderson, driver of the number 18 Coyote chassis. I want to say thanks to Crouch Auto Body for sponsoring us this season. You can call Crouch at 410-398-9420 or visit them online at crouchab.com for all your auto body needs.
All right, so we're going to take a little bit of time today to give a shout out to one of our most faithful sponsors, Charlie Kirby with Kirby's Relic Recovery. So let's talk a little bit about what you've done for the team in terms of financial or even fan support. You know, what have you provided for the team?
I provide funds for the oil and the fuel for the cart. I'm a big fan. Show it to everybody. Try to show up to the races as much as possible and willing to travel to go see them.
Absolutely. You've definitely been there a lot, and you've even come up to New Jersey to watch him when he was just doing urban youth racing school stuff. So.
Yes. Fantastic. I loved it.
How do you feel about having Charlie at your races and helping the team out?
Thank you, Trev.
Yeah, we're really appreciative. Fuel is a huge resource that we need, obviously, to keep the cart running. So just having that is a huge blessing.
You can't race without fuel. It's impossible.
Absolutely not.
You definitely don't want to run out.
So let's talk a little bit about your business, because technically it is your business that is sponsoring
It's a hobby.
It's a hobby?
Yes.
Okay. So what is it that you do?
I do metal detecting for fun, as well as if you lose something, you can call me. I'll come out and hunt for it with a metal detector and hope that I can find it. I've had one call and one successful find so far.
One call, one successful find so far. I mean, that's more success than a lot of people have.
Exactly. Well,
and hopefully you'll get more calls and more successful finds.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, folks, you heard it here. If you lost it, Kirby's Relic Recovery will find it. So how can we get a hold of you?
Contact number is 443-206-4465. If I don't answer, please leave a message.
So let's get into you being a supporter of Liam in person. How many races, how long do you think you've been coming out to see him race?
This is my second year or third year. I can't remember which.
We're on our, fourth season now, so.
I don't know if I've been there for a full season or not. I don't know. I don't count. I just come when I can, just watching.
Just been coming out quite a bit.
Yes.
And what have you noticed watching Liam race over the last
How
few years?
much he has grown and improved.
How much he's grown and improved. Is there anything particular that you've noticed there?
He's listening a lot now. What he's told, he's learning a lot as he goes.
Well, the support is much appreciated, and we're very grateful to have you. Thank you for coming out to talk to us a little bit about what you do and talk a little bit about what you've noticed with Liam at the races and everything. And, you know, we really, really appreciate your support. Thank you.
Won't miss it for nothing.
All right, we're back after a brief word with our sponsor, Charlie Kirby, with Kirby's Relic Recovery. And we've swapped out Charlie. You want to introduce yourself again to the folks at home?
Sure. Sean Anderson. I'm the crew and car chief for the number 18 Coyote chassis of Liam Anderson.
Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit today about an experience that Liam had recently. He had a 10-week learning experience with an amazing STEM program.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we don't speak for their school, but we can't talk about Liam's improvement as a driver without crediting their school.
That's correct.
And the amazing opportunity that they provide to kids.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So last year I was praying, and just to put it as it is, as a fact, I was praying for some sort of opportunity for him. Because he's so serious about racing and he's so engaged. We saw some shortfalls on the track. Of course, it's, his second year. We're just going through and seeing some things. And as a dad, you can coach, but sometimes you need that expertise. I've never been a race car driver. I have driven fast before, but I've never been a race car driver. The fundamentals, the basics, things like that, the coaching, having the support at the track for other crew members, and it's a family, and it's okay to have friends and be competitors at the same time. But just giving him the information that he needs sometimes just wasn't enough. People learn differently, especially children, and I believe that he just needed that hands-on approach to understand things better. And I was praying. I said, just give us a chance. Just give us a shot. Show me which direction I need to go to get my son what he needs to succeed. And we were at the Philadelphia Auto Show, and we were looking around. Lamb enjoys cars so much. We were up there checking out everything that they had up there, and Lamborghinis and Ferraris and everything. I mean, they had it, and it was a good time. It was a good time to spend together with family. And, we spent probably an hour or 2 hours in there just walking around. The place is huge in the convention center up there, and you could literally spend all day looking at all these cars. But the moment we left, I saw a sign on the bus stop, and it was posted on the bus stop, would your child like to attend racing school? Well, you can do it with Chevrolet, and sponsored by Chevrolet and Hendrick Motorsports. You can do it right here in Philadelphia. So I sent them an email, and they got back to me, and it's I'm really glad they did. It's an excellent program.
So you see this sign, and you get a hold of this school after it's almost like your prayers were answered.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I saw the sign, and of course they have the number 5 on there. It's Kyle Larson's number, and he's running for Hendrick Motorsports. And I see the Hendrick Motorsports logo and the NASCAR logo and the Chevrolet logo, and I was like, is this legit? Well, I mean, we just have to find out. Nobody knows about kart racing, for one, and for two, it's very difficult to advertise and put out there that, hey, here's a legitimate program. And it was just a sign from above, I believe.
Yeah,
I highly believe that.
That program is a very well-kept secret. I was surprised to know that they've been running for 20 some years now?
I believe it's closer to 30, yeah.
I was about to say, I thought it was 30.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how well kept a secret that it is. And, your dad says that they were able to give you a hands-on approach. Do you feel like you benefited from that?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely?
Definitely.
So I know that the beginning of the program is 5 weeks in a classroom setting, and that's the STEM heavy part of the program, which, if you don't know what STEM is, it's science, technology, engineering, and math, I believe.
Correct.
Okay, so what did you take from the first 5 weeks?
Apex and aerodynamics.
Apex and aerodynamics. Do you want to explain that a little bit more to
and
people
safety
who might not understand what an apex is?
Apex is the preferred racing line of that corner.
Correct.
Preferred racing
and aerodynamics, that's a little bit difficult to explain, but...
What did you learn about aerodynamics?
How air cuts through... how the car cuts through air, or how something cuts through air.
How
the car or an object, right?
Lift.
Yep.
Downforce.
Lift, drag, downforce, everything, right?
Yep.
So with the aerodynamics, that also involves when you're perhaps drafting behind another vehicle.
Yes.
And you're in their airstream.
Pretty much. That's exactly what it is.
Yep.
Okay.
So for the folks that don't know what drafting or within an airstream means, when two cars get together, they are able to reduce the drag and the wind resistance between the two cars, making them go faster together. So that's basically, if you watch Daytona or Talladega, a lot of the super speedway tracks in NASCAR, you'll see a lot of bump drafting. That's the same thing. Any car that's out of the draft is going to be significantly slower than the cars that are in the draft. So it cuts down the wind resistance between the two cars. The car in the back can push, and it also creates more speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't think about the airflow and how significant that is. I know that we were just watching the Kyle Busch movie last night, and
Correct.
he was talking about how he wasn't even touched by another vehicle, and just the air coming off sent him flying.
That is correct. You have to be very careful racing side by side, because if you enter the corner wrong, it will take the air off the rear end, and you're going to end up in a crash.
So with learning about aerodynamics, Liam, you also learned how to build a car?
Yeah, I
And
did.
a functioning race car?
What was it?
The CO2 dragsters.
CO2.
Yep.
CO2 dragster.
Yep.
Okay. You want to talk to me a little bit about what you did there?
I almost won. And
You almost.
well, we built it not from scratch, but we did use super glue and we put a little bit of the pieces together. Most of them were already assembled, but the wheels, the front bumper, the cartridge holder,
Yeah. So
everything like that.
Yep. So it's basically like a Pinewood Derby car, in a sense, like that you run in Scouts.
Mhm.
It's made out of a lightweight block of wood. Liam's case, he didn't have to do this because he's he's fifth grade, he's young, but a lot of the adults get into it. You design it, you carve it out to where you think the best aerodynamics are with the vehicle. It's propelled by CO2, and you go through the whole wind tunnel thing. They actually had a wind tunnel they could put the car in to see, how it does, and
Do testing and everything?
do testing. And yeah, Liam made it all. He made it all the way to the final, and he was in the final race and finished second place after qualifying on the pole with the CO2 dragster. So very proud of him for that.
Oh, so it sounds like you did learn a lot.
Yeah, the racing school teaches about all kinds of racing. It's not just NASCAR. I mean, they go into NHRA, they go into Formula One, all that stuff. And Liam's reaction times off the line were just excellent. So who knows? I mean, he may end up in NHRA one day.
Let's pray.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's going to be a professional driver of some sort. I know it.
I feel
He's
it.
definitely got the talent.
I feel
for
the
it.
talent. That's right.
And the drive.
Yeah, so the program breaks you down. It's a 10-week program. It's a first 5 weeks in the classroom, and the last 5 weeks are hands-on in an actual go-kart. And the program breaks you down, and it teaches you the right way to do it. And seeing him go through that was like a light bulb going off, and he just exploded with it and finished in the top of his class. So I'm very proud of him.
I believe you did communicate that with me. You told me that you thought you knew a lot about racing. You thought, you were like, well, I've got experience on the track, so I'm going to, go in there and kill this. And then you said that they just ripped apart everything that you knew and built you back up again. But you feel like that's made you a better driver.
It did. Matter of fact, it probably did. I don't know yet, but...
Yeah, just watching that crossover move that he did in the final lap of that one race that we posted on TikTok, I mean, it just shows that, yeah, he knows what he's doing.
That was a beautiful move. I was going to say I wasn't there for the first 5 weeks in the classroom. I didn't get to participate in that part of the STEM
Were you
program.
there for the first week of the karting?
I was there for the whole 5 weeks of the karting. Though.
Right.
I feel like it was the second week that... No, you're right. It was first week. Because I remember sitting in that other classroom on the track.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate your support.
Oh, of course. That's my buddy. I love him. I'd do anything for him, and I know that he's got the talent, and I recognize it, and I'm willing to support that. So, you talk a little bit about the crossover move and everything like that, and that was one thing that I was going to mention was how much I watched him develop and improve. Like, I watched him sit there and really listen to those instructors in the class.
Top-notch instructors.
Top-notch instructors, absolutely.
Reggie Showers was NHRA 3-time champ, I believe, drag bike. And I'm telling you, that man is awesome. He's an excellent instructor.
Well, he's not just a winner. He had to overcome.
He had to overcome a lot of stuff, yeah. So Reggie Showers is a double amputee.
Yeah.
And for years, he and still continues to conquer everything. He teaches these kids strength, and he shows them what happened to him, the crashes, the burns, everything else. And he still continues on. I mean, he's a powerhouse. And, Reggie Showers is just an awesome guy.
Mm-hmm. And part of the classroom learning was watching real life examples. They would sit there and they would put videos up of real professional drivers and they would talk like step by step break down what these drivers were doing to show the kids either what to do or what not to do.
Yeah, road racing is one of those things where, and that's what Liam does. He's on asphalt road course. You're behind somebody and you're just waiting on them to make a mistake. And then when they make a mistake, you capitalize on it. And that's one of the things that I saw Liam do, was to be able to have that ability to watch what that driver's doing in front of him. And, you know, you're familiar with this driver. He's constantly running the high line. Well, then now you know how to get around him. So, which is very difficult to pass in a road course, especially in a go-kart.
Yeah. And you did have some very serious competition in those 5 weeks. And I watched you learn those other drivers and how they operated to work around that. Yeah.
Throughout the class, he had four or five wins.
Several wins and some pretty nice lap times too.
Yeah.
His fastest time was a 19.088, I believe.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Nor was it the 18. Was it? It was 19, right?
It was 19.
19, like on the dot.
19.088. Yep, you were close.
Yep. You were very close.
And the class also broke him down in a way to not allow him to beat on himself too much. For instance, there was a couple karts there that were not up to par. They were not up to par. They had bad tires. They had bad tie rods. And, you know, that's just part of the program. That program taught him to say, hey, sometimes I'm going to have a bad setup because there's variables on the track temperature, the tire pressures, everything. You run into a corner of the track that's shaded by a tree. You know, you run along, and all of a sudden that turns slippery because it's not as hot as the rest of the track. So you're not getting that grip. And just to overcome issues like Liam did last year, you know, with an engine that just wouldn't perform, and, you know, bad tires and everything, and he's still constantly finishing second and in the top 5. Like, it's just, you know, he's learned that portion to adapt and overcome and not give up, just keep pushing and finish the race. Yeah. So it's definitely brought a lot of confidence.
All right, so I will say that I witnessed you beat yourself up a couple of times when you were dealing with some of the adversity that your dad was talking about. So how did you adjust your mindset and learn to think a little bit more along the lines of, you know what, I am pushing myself and I am doing my best, and it's not me, but I am still doing my best despite the circumstances?
I did that a couple times, but still, I am always hard on myself. I don't care if I beat myself up. That's what's teaching me.
Yeah, I mean...
He could be yelling at me, but the only way for me to learn is for me to yell at myself. You could say, you need to go inside on that turn. Well, you're going to say that. I might need to learn that for myself.
That's right. Yeah, and calming, you know, in the pits, calming him down was a task. You know, he would come off the track crying, and I'd just be like, hey, man, listen, Richard Petty has had bad days. Kyle Busch has had bad days. Every NASCAR driver, Formula One driver, NHRA stock car driver, you know, pro stock driver has had a bad day. There's going to be times when you're going to have a bad day, and just trying to get him to calm down and just be like, okay, and accept it. You know, it's not a reflection of, you know, you'd made a mistake or you did something wrong, or, you know, it's not that constant hammering. It's that reassurance. It's that coaching to just calm down. It's okay. You gave it your best. Just, you know, just to teach him to give 110% all the time. That way there's absolutely no doubt that there's nothing else that he could have done that day. There was just a bad variable that was just thrown in the mix. And I think we've come a long way with that. I really do.
There's no question that you push yourself very hard and you hold yourself to a different standard, because like I said, I watched you in that classroom and you would sit there and absorb what they were telling you, these professionals, and you were going out and actively applying it on the track immediately after getting out of that classroom. And you were not only applying it, but you were honing it and perfecting it at the same time. So like, you did it well the first time and you did it even better the second time. And, you know, we watched you really, really improve in that aspect, that you were, you know, you were learning the other drivers, you were learning how to deal with adversity from your cars and the track and things like that, and your tires or whatever. And you were still pushing yourself And a lot of racing, you know, from what they taught in the school, from what I could see, a lot of it is not just on the track, but it's also psychological.
It is.
And, you know, you have to be in the correct mindset, but also, you know, sometimes you can use that psychology to mess with the other drivers a little bit.
I'm not going to say that Liam's ever done that before. I think he started that from day one.
I was gonna
he's like the little intimidator. Yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna say, you could tell he's watched some Earnhardt clips and listened to Dad talk about Earnhardt.
Yeah,
So.
And he's got the dedication, and he's such a good kid. He really is a good kid, and he's so mature for his age. You know, he's 10 years old, but he's so mature for his age. I mean, he's still a kid, and we allow him to be a kid and have fun and play and do silly stuff. And you know what I mean? We're not going to take that away from him. You know, and our fans, they need to understand that. You know, that we still play football. We still go out there and run around and do whatever. You know what I mean? Just go to the play places or whatever. It's stuff that he enjoys as well, and you know we take time away from racing and do that too. But
we definitely take time away from racing.
Vacations.
I was gonna say you love doing all kinds of stuff, and your dad said you like playing ball, and I know that you like airsoft. Yeah, you and your cousin gave like airsoft a lot.
He really enjoys fishing too. Yeah, we love fishing.
Well, when can we go fishing?
Yeah, we're waiting on it to warm up. Dad's bones are getting old, buddy.
It's a little cold out right now.
No excuses.
Okay, there you go.
Gonna catch some frozen fish.
He's teaching me. No excuses. You hear that? And just like the movie we watched last night, the Rowdy movie, you know, Kyle Busch wrecked at Daytona, and he broke his leg and he broke his foot. And he told himself, I'm coming back in May, even though the doctor said no. And he did it anyway. You know, that's just the adversity and the perseverance of the dedication of racing. And that's what I believe that Liam's got what it takes when it comes to that. So, and he even pushes me. He does. There's times where I'm like, man, you know, I'm tired. He's like, come on, Dad. Come on, Dad. You know, so it's an excellent family experience, if anything.
So you guys keep each other going, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, speaking of the level of maturity, you know, I've had some conversations with Liam, because a lot of people like to think that this is your passion, and that's why he's picked up on it.
Yeah.
But no, absolutely not. This is 100% him, and he is devoted. And he communicated with me. You know, I asked him, what are some of the things that you love about racing? And, you know, you had a whole list for me. And then I asked you what you hate about racing. And you sat and you thought for about a second, and you said not a thing, because even the bad parts are part of it.
Yeah.
My list was bigger than Santa's list.
Yeah, he loves it. And that's the thing. He took off with it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to push him to do something he doesn't want to do. I'm here to support him with anything. You know, he's in the band in school. He plays the trumpet. You know, anything he wants to do, I'm going to be here for him, and I'm going to push him and help him excel through that. And I believe all of our race fans on Facebook, Instagram, you know, across all social media, I believe the same. I believe that they're really pushing for my kid, and you know, I'm appreciative of that.
You definitely have a lot of fans, and you've gone national in the news. You got picked up in the AP News. And
I did.
You're in a few different publications.
Yeah.
But he's so humble, he won't tell anybody at school that he's in the news.
I know.
I'm waiting for somebody to pick up on it.
Well, that's okay, because I've told everybody.
I know. I was going to say, I think we brag on him enough.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. I got to thank Jane Belmar from the Cecil Wig. She did an excellent article, and the Associated Press picked up on it. And, you know, San Francisco, Montana, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Houston, and San Antonio. It's all over the place. And, you know, I pray for more fans, and, you know, we appreciate everything. We're very humble and just praying for the future.
Yeah, I know we have one person who found us on social media who's an avid race fan, and she actually donated to the team.
That's correct.
Because of that. So.
Yeah, and we've spoken to Richard Petty. We've met him. Corey LaJoy, Joe Ruttman. He's got fans in the NASCAR world already, and he's coming up. So we're just praying for the support, the foundation that we need, the networking, and most importantly, the finances, and then hopefully we'll get there.
Yeah. Well, as long as we have this guy to support, I think we're going to do okay, because he kind of sells himself.
How can you not love him?
I know. It's kind of hard. He's a great kid, and he's very helpful. Very, very helpful.
Tried to be.
Nah, you're a good boy.
You
really
definitely. I was gonna say he helps out with his little cousin at home and everything. So
Everybody-
we really appreciate
Try
it.
to.
Everybody brags on him. He's such a good kid.
Really
Yeah.
is. We'll go to the grocery store and he's out there, helping older people put their stuff up on the belt and everything and get their carts unloaded and stuff if they're in line with us.
Yep,
So.
he's polite and he's very humble, and no matter how far he makes it, I believe that that's going to always be the case, and we need more of that in this world. So.
We absolutely do. We love you, buddy, and we're your biggest fans. We're cheering for you.
I hope so.
All
Love you
right.
too, dude.
I love you more.
No, I know you do.
No. All right. Well, this is the High Line with Liam Anderson Motorsports, and we're signing off.
Thanks, race fans.